If your garden soil seems to be doing okay, but not great, there's a hidden reason most gardeners miss. Maybe your compost is dark, your mulch layer looks perfect, and you've even tossed in some worm castings or manure, yet somehow, the plants just don't pop. Growth is slow, leaves are pale, and your soil feels tired. What gives? The truth is, even good gardeners can end up with soil that's biologically flat. Traditional boosters like compost and manure are helpful, but they don't always fix the deeper imbalances that come from years of over-tilling, water stress, or chemical exposure. What you might need is something a little more powerful, something most gardeners don't even think to try. In this guide, we're diving into 5 uncommon soil revivers that go far beyond the compost pile. These ingredients, some ancient, some overlooked, rebuild your soil in ways that feed microbes, attract worms, and supercharge plant roots without much effort. Whether you're growing in raised beds, containers, or tired backyard plots, these fixes could be the turnaround your soil's been waiting for. Biochar, the ancient black sponge that soil loves. Let's start with one of the most powerful soil tools ever used, biochar. First made by indigenous Amazonian farmers centuries ago, biochar is essentially charcoal made from organic material like wood chips, corn cobs, or husks, burned slowly in a low-oxygen environment. But what makes it magical for soil isn't just its carbon content. Biochar has a honeycomb-like structure packed with microscopic pores. These pores act like soil real estate, shelter for microbes, storage for nutrients, and buffers against both drought and flooding. It doesn't rot or degrade, so it remains in the soil for hundreds of years. So the key to using biochar effectively is to charge it first. Dry, raw biochar can actually steal nitrogen from your soil if you apply it directly. Instead, you want to soak it in compost tea, worm castings, or even a mix of aged manure and water for at least a day or two. Once it's infused, just work it into your soil, or add it to the base layer of your raised bed. Within a few weeks, you'll notice a deeper color, better water retention, and honestly, stronger, more resilient plants. Kelp meal really is the ocean's answer to tired plants. Now just imagine what happens when ocean minerals meet dead soil. That's the promise of kelp meal, a powdered form of dried seaweed that contains an extraordinary mix of trace elements, natural growth hormones, and complex carbohydrates. Unlike basic fertilizers that focus on NPK, that's nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, kelp works on the long game. It activates plant metabolism, increases resistance to stress, and improves flowering and fruiting. Plus, it stimulates beneficial microbial activity in the soil by feeding the invisible ecosystem that lives beneath the surface. To apply kelp meal, you simply sprinkle a handful around each plant, or blend it with water to make a gentle seaweed tea. You can also toss it into your compost pile to boost decomposition. The results aren't instant, but within a couple of weeks you'll often see lusher growth and better color, even in weak soil. It's especially powerful during transplant shock or after weather extremes like heavy rains or heat waves. Basalt rock dust. Feed the soil for decades. You wouldn't think volcanic rock could help your garden grow, but basalt rock dust is one of the best-kept secrets in soil remineralization. Formed from cooled lava, basalt is rich in slow-release minerals like calcium, iron, magnesium, manganese, and dozens of trace elements. What makes basalt different from other soil amendments is its longevity. When added to your soil, these fine particles don't break down quickly. Instead, they gradually leach minerals into the root zone over months and even years, supporting long-term fertility. That means healthier plants, stronger cell walls, and improved flavor and nutrition in fruits and vegetables. You can mix basalt dust directly into garden beds, apply it as a top dress before rain, or stir it into compost to enhance microbial efficiency. The key is consistency. It doesn't take much to make a big impact, and the benefits often show up in the next growing season, and continue compounding from there. Mycorrhizal fungi, the secret web beneath the roots. If your soil has ever seemed lifeless despite your best efforts, there's a good chance it's missing one critical ally: mycorrhizal fungi. These microscopic organisms form a symbiotic relationship with plant roots, extending their reach far beyond what roots alone can cover. A single plant with healthy mycorrhizal support can draw in nutrients from several feet away, unlocking phosphorus, zinc, copper, and water that would otherwise be out of reach. The fungal filaments also knit soil particles together, improving aeration and reducing erosion. To inoculate your garden with these fungi, you can apply powdered mycorrhizal inoculants directly to seeds dipped transplant roots before planting or mix into your compost or soil. Just make sure the soil is undisturbed after application. Tilling disrupts fungal networks. This is one of the reasons no-dig gardeners see such success with long-term fertility and soil health. Once established, mycorrhizae stay with the plant for life, creating a living network that supports entire garden beds. The result? Deeper roots, fewer diseases, and faster growth, all without adding more fertilizer. Dried molasses. Now this is microbial fuel that really kicks soil into gear. Here's a surprising one: dried molasses. It might sound like just a pantry item, but this sugar-rich powder is honestly a game-changer for soil biology. When applied to soil, molasses becomes instant food for microbes. Bacteria and fungi multiply rapidly, creating a surge in microbial activity that kickstarts decomposition, breaks down organic matter faster, and creates more humus. Dried molasses is especially useful in compacted or chemically stressed soil, where microbial life has been suppressed. Just a light sprinkle can activate dormant microbes and begin a chain reaction that makes nutrients more available to plants almost immediately. Use it at the start of a new bed, or refresh old soil with a quick boost. It also pairs well with compost tea, acting as a feeding agent to help beneficial bacteria flourish, and best of all, worms are drawn to it like magnets. In a matter of days, you may find your soil teeming with new life. From flat to fertile, your soil's comeback starts now. So many gardeners are stuck in the cycle of adding more compost, more mulch, more fertilizer, without ever quite seeing their soil come to life. But when you step outside the usual suspects and tap into these lesser-known soil revivers, everything changes. Biochar builds permanent structure and microbial homes. Kelp meal enriches with deep-sea minerals and growth hormones. Basalt dust repairs long-term deficiencies. Mycorrhizal fungi unlock nutrients and form vast underground networks, and dried molasses fuels the soil food web like nothing else. Each one of these ingredients alone can improve your soil, but when combined, even in small amounts, they become a transformative force. Whether you're starting from scratch or trying to restore exhausted beds, these powerful amendments can help you build a soil ecosystem that feeds itself, resists disease, and produces abundance for seasons to come. If this guide gave you a fresh idea or a new way to think about soil, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a fellow gardener, drop a comment with your experience, and make sure to subscribe to Hydro Haven. There's so much more natural soil wisdom waiting to be unlocked, and we're here to help you uncover it, one root at a time.